I'm Valentina Follow. I'm the director of the study center, or as we call it, the Global Institute in Rome. I'm a native of the city of Rome, so I grew up here. But I also spent, as a student abroad, several years in Germany, and then later on in the United States for my PhD. So I lived, as I was mentioning before, in Philadelphia for 5 years. Like Pierre, I married an American, but we met in Germany, not in the US. When that I was already married. And then we moved back about 13 years ago, back to Rome. As a training, I'm an archaeologist, so I could not stay away from my city. I needed to see the Colosseum at least once a day, otherwise I'm not happy. And we are really, really excited about welcoming you in Rome this summer. We are today, not the entire staff is here. There are another couple of members, but we're really super excited of having you, both groups, coming to Rome this coming summer, 2021.
Yeah, that's something I want to mention as a forward, is that those of you who are on the language and culture program were supposed to go to Ferrara, Italy, and you did get a notification like only a week ago that program moved to Rome. So I think this is the perfect opportunity for you to ask questions about what Rome is like, bearing in mind that we're still fine-tuning the plans. We're still just in December, so we don't have yet a full final itinerary. But I think it's a great opportunity for you to get to meet Valentina and ask questions. So we appreciate everyone's flexibility, and quite frankly, I think you're in for a treat because Rome is the quintessential European city. So not that Ferrara was not good, but I think Rome is amazing. So
I love Ferrara. My grandmother was from Ferrara. I have relatives there. So, but Rome has a different layers of history. In Rome, you can really walk from the second millennium BC, before the Common Era, all the way to the modern time. So you have 3,000 years of history they're spanning as you walk by, more or less.
Great. And then Pierre, do you want to share the link so everyone can start connecting?
I will, yes. I'm going to leave in the chat, I'm going to leave a link to a Google Sheet where you can drop your contact information. That's totally optional. It's just to help you guys connect before the trip. If you want to create, WhatsApp groups or Instagram connect, however you guys do it. So I'm going to leave a contact sheet so that everyone has everybody's contact information. This will only be shared with students going to Italy, just so you know.
And let me know when I need to start sharing. I can start sharing.
Yeah.
Okay, so I share, and then this one, share. You should be able to see it. And do you see it well? Can you see it well? Oh, sorry, I had to go all the way to the, sorry. So you're gonna see backwards quickly, sorry. So it's like, sorry, okay. So actually this is a lovely picture that we took last summer for one of the art history groups here in Rome. It's not from the Global Institute. In the far back, you can see a little elephant, and on top of the elephant, there is an Egyptian obelisk. The entire sculpture was designed by Bernini, one of the most famous artists that decorated also St. Peter's. So again, you walk by and you just stumble across masterpieces. Pierre, I'll give it to you because the first slide, it's yours. So I'm just gonna start with this, right?
We kind of went over this, so you can jump to the next one.
Perfect. Okay, so we start with a picture of Italy. Actually, this is more of a representation, and I picked this picture for a very specific reason, because I think it gives you an idea of not just the food, but the art, and also how very Italy is. Italy is a tiny country. We are not very big, but it's very diverse. So from top to bottom, you actually have an incredible change in panoramas, type of vegetation, food-wise. Everyone thinks that Italian food is just Italian, but actually for us is regional. And so dishes that you try in Rome, you can eat in Rome, you don't eat in the north, for example, here in Florence or Pisa or Bologna. So I really thought that was a nice snapshot of what Italy is about. Oh, sorry, here. And I listed some of the top reasons in terms of what I think usually Italy is famous for. And of course, you can add all the other reasons you want. And for some of you, could even be ancestry. Some of you could also be from an Italian family, and that would be a great opportunity to be back. So, of course, at the top, I put food and art, but art, monuments, and history, they really go together. Italy, as I was saying, is a very tiny nation, but we are the house of over 70% of the world national patrimony. So in Italy, you find majority of the works of art a backdrop for many famous movies. Not the latest was actually last week. We had Tom. I think now
Your mic is going on and off, Valentina. Maybe for the presentation, could you remove your video so that the feed maybe works better? I think we lost Valentina in cyberspace. Can you hear us, Valentina? Ah,
can you hear me?
yes.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I don't know why, because I look at the bar and my computer is directly connected to the Ethernet, so it's not. I'm not using Wi-Fi, so I'm not sure what's happening.
No
here.
worries. Let's do it without video.
In any case, I don't know if you heard it, but okay, it's without video now, right? You can hear me better.
Yes.
So it's been also the location for many movies. I mean, famous older movies like Roman Holidays, but also the most recent one we had. Again, Mission Impossible, but we also had Zoolander. I don't know if you watch it, probably now you're a little too young, but it's a place where you can actually come across a lot of exciting events every day. So we always say you wake up in Rome and you don't know what you could expect, expect for the day, because again, you can meet a movie star, you could just come across people just performing movies or arts. Then fashion and shopping, we have, I know that usually Milan is considered the capital of fashion and design, but also in Rome we have all of the most important fashion designers, Valentino, Armani, Gucci, and they also have small museums and museums dedicated to the evolution of costume and fashion in Italy. In terms of nature, besides the beaches and for the summer program, actually, we had planned excursions also along the coast of Rome, of Italy, not far from Rome. We also have lakes, the Alps in the north, and in Rome itself, we have plenty of. It's a very green city. We have different large public parks. There were already private villas owned by noble families, and a part of our daily life. Kids play soccer, they can bike, rollerblades, simply, if you want to jog or just walk about and do picnic. And then, of course, hospitality. Italians are very warm. We are always very excited about learning about new culture, new people. I always tell my students, Italy is a lot. So we actually have been there for a lot of age for centuries, from all over the Mediterranean, even beyond that. So we are people. They will support, they will help you. In Rome or in other cities, when you are, they understand that you are not a local, and they will do everything possible to make sure you feel welcome and and to really help you. So even just in terms of directions. Oh, sorry. And in terms of other elements of Rome, here I picked two pictures that I think are emblematic. On one part is really art. This is a picture of the Colosseum, which again, it's one of the icons of Rome, even if personally I love it, but there are so many little treasures hidden to discover, which are not usually on postcards, but once you see them, they're really life-changing. And on the other side, this is a class that we take. Students learn how to make pizza from scratch. Then they have to eat what they cook, and they always have a lot of fun. It's really a step-by-step experience. Each of them mixes on pizza, so it's part of what our culture is. And this is the building. You know, remember the elephant we mentioned and the obelisk in the back. This is one of my favorite monuments of all Rome. Pantheon. It was originally a temple, and now is a church. The most perfect example of Roman art. There is another picture in our slide I'm going to show you. Is the inside. As you are inside the perfect experience. Is absolutely stunning. In terms of history, as I was mentioning to you at the beginning, Rome is over 3,000 years old, and you just can explore all of these 3,000 years just by walking outside. You can see the juxtaposition, as you can see in this picture, of ancient buildings, modern building, late Renaissance building, or even elements connected with the most modern time, like the modern monuments. And in terms of history, we can actually, when I say the place where Julius Caesar was killed, I'm not exaggerating. We know the exact spot through the sources, and it's actually not far from the Global Institute. And you can walk by and really follow the footsteps of these major historical figures. Another highlight, climbing the top of St. Peter's Dome is over 500 steps. Yes, it's breathtaking in every sense. But the moment you're on top of that dome, you have the beauty of the entire city at your feet, and it's a stunning experience. In terms of going about, Rome is actually very friendly in terms of being walkable. Yes, it is a large city, but at the same time, the historic center, so the area where you're gonna live and study, you can walk everywhere. And you're walking through amazing piazzas and palaces. You're going to be able to see museum. So even if it's a large city, it's quite easy to navigate in terms of space. And it's also actually rather safe. Rome is a city that I have to say, I grew up here. I feel very comfortable. We had students in the past, and everyone felt that they could feel safe walking around. As I was mentioning to you, when we moved the Global Institute, the new center, we moved it right in the heart of Rome. We wanted the students to be really there where everything is. So just by walking outside the door, 5 minutes on foot, and you're you're right where the Colosseum is. Another couple of steps and you're at the Spanish Steps, another couple of steps and you're at the Trevi Fountain. So I would say within 10 minutes from the study center, you will be able to see all the icons of Rome, all of more or less of your bucket list, if there is one. And again, going back to food, Rome is not an exception. You're going to be able to actually taste foods that are specifically of the city of Rome, while also learning about more in general Italian cuisine. Oh, sorry. And in the summer program, I love this picture. This is actually a picture taken while our students were reenacting for one of the movie classes. They were enacting a famous scene. We're in a park in Rome outside. And this is what we want you to be. We want to really use Rome as a classroom, not being inside, but learn by experiencing every possible space within the city. You're going to have Italian language also in the art program, and all the Italian language classes are interactive. It's not so much in the grammar, but being able to communicate. So it's based on communication, enabling you to interact with people, understanding the culture, and we really make sure that you are able to apply what you're learning every single day. And all of the daily activities and excursions are connected with what's studying in your sort of classroom, both for the arts and for the language and culture program. All the activities are really designed to be interconnected. So if you're learning how to make, how to cook, time is there, so you're going to be able to explore in a safe way, but it's a possibility for you to really explore the city and find your little hidden treasure. For the language and culture program, breakfast and dinner at the homestay. For the students in the Exploring Rome program, so the art program, breakfast and dinner are actually in the hotel where you're going to be staying. And lunches are usually designed within the city. So if you're having an activity near the Colosseum, we're going to have lunch there. If you're having an activity near the, we're going to have lunch there, so that you have also variety in in Italian, and here you have the actual ball. So the students are really learning and directly. So it's really, really interactive. We only use local teachers, so teachers that not only know the language, but they also know the city. You're going to be in small groups, and we are going to make sure that each one of you can have the best possible experience. Going abroad, it's a fundamental life-changing experience, and myself and the staff are really committed to make sure that each and every one of you will have the time of its life while they are abroad. This is a picture that shows you one of the exercises taking place outside. This is a market, Campo dei Fiori, which is a vegetable and flower market. So again, your activities will be tested. So you're going to learn and put your learning experiences immediately in action. And this also goes for the art classes. Again, we want you to be in Rome. We want you to be in Rome and explore Rome, not just a classroom. The activities and excursions that we have designed, we have here some pictures. You see here, oh, sorry. The gelato making class. So we actually bring the students in, it's one of the oldest gelato shops in Rome, and students make their own gelato, and then of course they taste it. Here, it's one of the daily excursions. It's in Tivoli. It's one of the Renaissance villas. Some of you might be familiar with it because it's been used as a backdrop for some of the Disney movies. So it's Lizzie McGuire was actually shooted there. At the bottom, this is one of the other daily excursions to Pompeii. You can actually see the ancient city at the backdrop. And this is one of the afternoon activities. Students are learning how to make Roman mosaics. So they actually start from scratch with the little original pieces, the design, and then at the end, they can bring what they have made back home. We have classes on mosaic making, fresco making, drawings outside. So it's really not just looking at monument and looking at museum, but also there's a practical aspect in enabling you to understand what you see in museum because you actually been able to do what some of these artists have done. And in terms of homestays, this is actually a very typical image of an Italian family. You know, it is dinner time, making pasta, having a lovely dinner together. The families that we select are families that are really interested in hosting students. So they want to be able to share their culture with you. They want you to love the country. You're gonna be a guest, and then after these weeks, not just a guest, but really part of this community. And so they're always very excited to have students staying with them. For the students that are not staying in homestays, we make sure to expose you as much as possible to the Italian culture, through the program leaders, through the staff, and through the communicative language class that you're gonna be taking at the beginning. And here you have some other pictures. There are the two options: the Italian language, the global discovery, which is exploring Rome through the arts. Those are, again, some of the other activities, some of the museum that you're going to be visiting. What it's important to stress that no matter what your program is, it's a program that focuses on hands-on. So it's not virtual, it's not on something that you will not be able to explore fully. The last thing is about COVID, probably is in the back of your mind, in the front of your mind. These past few months have been for everyone quite, I would say, interesting at the least. I can tell you that right now, Italy is doing well. We are, as in many other countries, putting, actually, we are putting under control the numbers. There are some restrictions in place. So some museums are closed. They will all reopen after Christmas. And even in terms of schools, right now, all schools are in presence. So students are actually in the classroom. They have to wear masks. There is a mask mandate everywhere. And there is a curfew. Of course, this is now. You're gonna come over the summer. So we all hope that by the summer, the situation will not just better, but really normal. But the expectation is that after the Christmas vacation, so mid-January, all museums and all the public spaces will reopen. So we are very positive about that. Right now, I can tell you for experience, both my kids go to school, they have regular hours. You know, yes, they don't do as many afternoon activities as before, but so far so good. And yes, with the exception of wearing a mask, it's okay. At this point, I think I will open the floor to questions, because I'm pretty sure you have plenty.